We are here with the Capital Auto Repair and Service Truck Series for the SOMO Racing League at Las Vegas. Tonight's race is going to be the Las Vegas 134. It's 134 laps around this mile-and-a-half track. Stages are going to be laps 40 and 80. Right now these guys are in qualifying, and we're looking at Lupe Gonzales, who was last week's winner. In the booth tonight, it's going to be myself, Adam Baker, as well as Wingnut, who I believe has stepped away for the moment.
Nope.
Oh, Wingnut, you're back.
Surprise!
All right, what are you expecting out of tonight's race?
Draft. That's all I gotta say. A lot of draft.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty important here. You know, this being a mile-and-a-half track, and these trucks are not quite as fast as the Cup cars. They're going to rely on that down these straightaways. So.
Oh yeah, and the difference in weather is also interesting as well, because it's a bit warm here, but when you get under cloud cover, the cars just jump and go faster. It's amazing.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me. We forgot to show that until later in the race last week, but yeah, tonight's track temp, 68 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's actually not too hot for Las Vegas, but track temp is 89 degrees. That'll probably cool down as the race goes on. Currently partly cloudy, so we'll see some clouds coming and going over the track, and that's going to affect lap times and the driver's speed throughout the race.
Oh yeah, and we saw a few guys during practice, like they were doing reasonably good laps. The moment they went under those clouds, it's like they just someone just gave them a boot up the rear, and off they went.
Yeah, at least 2 or 3 tenths faster.
Oh yeah.
Under the cloud cover. And before we get to the race session, we are going to actually play our national anthem, and we'll be right back after that to go through the grid.
We are in the land of the free because of the brave. And so we ask by your grace that you would bring them home soon and safe. In the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen.
And we are back. It looks like Lupe Gonzales did take the pole, so congrats to Lupe, last week's winner. Able to hold on to an exciting victory over Jay Felton at Atlanta. So congrats to Lupe on getting the pole. Seth Hatchell, who's been running strong these first couple races of the season, is starting second. Third's going to be Tyler Pluff, and fourth is Brad Speitel. Fifth is going to be Mike Eames. Timothy Lewis is going to roll off sixth. Kurt Davidson seventh. Christopher Zima eighth. Brent Bridgers ninth, and Jay Felton is going to round out the top 10. Larry Holloway is going to roll off 11th. Chad Heath in 12th. Shayne Pipala in 13th. Tom Clayton 14th. Jeff Glockner is going to roll off 15th. Jeff Sharp 16th. Andrew Melvin 17th. Paul Zoda 18th. David Gainforth is going to roll off 19th. Adam Jones 20th. Ron Hollyfield 21st. Ryan Gemmel 22nd. Charles Idell is going to roll off 23rd. And Jeremy Watkins, a newcomer, is going to roll off 24th. David Neitzel is going to be 25th. And William Chappell 26th. Rick Christensen 27th. Timothy Zayas 28th. And that's going to round out the field. So another large field here tonight. 28 cars or trucks in total.
Yeah, it's a pretty big field. 27 guys. And there's a few new guys as well. I think Jeremy L. Watkins is the one guy I think we have not seen in this series yet.
Yeah, I think it's his first start with us here, so it'll be interesting to see what he's able to do.
So, yes, I love his paint job.
Yep, number 90.
I know, it plays with a child in me.
Can't quite see what it says on there. Kabong, is that what it says?
I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah, it's a good looking truck though. I like the gold numbers on there.
Yeah, yeah. Alright, have we run through the grid at all?
Yep, just went through everybody. So
nice. Yeah, Lupe getting that pole by 1/1000th of a second. That is insane. Between him and Seth Hatchell was going to be a great race.
Yeah, I think those guys are going to be tough to beat tonight. We've seen a few guys be pretty strong here throughout the beginning of the year. Shayne Pipala, Ryan Gemmel, and Lupe, Jay Felton as well, and a few other guys really strong, you know, every single race so far. And,
oh yeah, and also another one as well, Tyler Pluff. Been watching him the past few races, and he actually seems to be like really getting some pace going. Hasn't quite managed to make a top finish with it, but he's been getting up there, which is good to see. And of course, Brad Speitel, new to this league, of course, but we always seeing him up in the top 5 area. He's almost always there until he either gets taken out or he makes a small mistake.
Yep, and pace car's in. We're about to get going.
And we're green.
Green flag is out. Lupe Gonzales.
Looks like a good start for both guys at the start.
Yep, Lupe and Seth Hatchell getting good jumps on it. Tyler Pluff with a pretty good jump there on the inside behind Lupe. And I think Seth's going to lose some ground here being up on that top lane. We'll see if he's able to hold off Tyler Pluff going into turn 3.
And of course, that first lap, that low line is always the stronger. But after that, it depends just what's the fastest line on the track. I haven't been out of practice to find out where it is on this track.
Yeah, you can usually run pretty much anywhere. I think the high line is better in the Cup cars, but it looks like the low line is working pretty well so far. And it's a later session, actually. The sun is starting to go down. So the track's probably cooled off quite a bit since qualifying.
Oh yeah, you notice that the shadow in the track is almost the track is entirely in darkness almost. Like when you get to the backstretch, it seems to light up a little bit, but not much.
Yep. Yeah, track temp
means
is
it's
actually
going to be a cool track.
Yeah, 20 degrees lower than qualifying, so that's pretty significant. And these trucks are going to handle quite a bit differently than they did in practice or qualifying.
Yeah, you can see the sun on the up to the middle of turn 4. You can see the sun glowing on the track there, like the one part of the track that's getting any real sunlight. Looks like we got a bit of a side-by-side action between Brent Bridges and Jay Felton, back for 7th and 8th. Right ahead of them is Timothy Lewis, just ahead of these guys.
Yeah, those guys side by
Looks
side
like
still.
Felton's trying the outside line. And behind them, we got Andrew Melvin alongside Jeff Glockner for 14th and 15th. And they better make this fight sorted out soon because Jeff Sharp's behind them. And then you've got Gainforth, Gemmel, and Paul all fighting it out. So, bit of a fight going on further back in the pack.
Yeah, big pack back here. And I want to actually take a peek and see what it looks like on the inside of one of these cars driving off into the sunset. It looks like there's cloud cover currently on this end of the track at turns 1 and 2. Maybe you can't see
as well,
the sun.
back up ahead, 6th and 7th. I think it's like Felton might finally get the run here to complete the pass on Lewis. Yep, he does. He manages to complete the pass on Lewis finally. So that is now Felton into 6th place.
So Jay Felton moving forward.
We're going to fight between Shayne Pipala and Larry Holloway for 10th, no, 11th, sorry.
those guys side by side. Shayne way down on the apron, and that's something you can do here. It's not against the rules. And
it doesn't lose you pace either. And to see how cold the track is, you're probably not even going to hurt your tires doing that.
Yep. Yeah, because in the Cup cars or in the Xfinity cars, usually you risk burning them up, or it gets pretty loose as you come back up on the banking. And I don't think
it's a risk.
Yeah, I don't think you'll have that problem with the trucks.
Look at that sun! Wow, that sun into 4 is just ridiculous.
Yeah,
can you see that as a driver at all, or is that just there?
I don't know if you can see it from the cockpit view, but we'll take a look here. We're on board with Brad Speidel, who was racing side by side with Kurt Davidson there, but it looks like he got by. So Brad Speidel up into 4th, Kurt Davidson back to 5th. I cannot see the sun. Oh, wait.
You can't see the sun, but you can see that part of the track just light up like a Christmas tree. It's amazing.
Yeah, so that's...
Also got a bit of fight again. Jay Felton alongside, I believe that's Kurt Davidson.
Yep, Davidson dropping back, maybe trying to save his tires early. We saw him
pushing hard.
We saw him be pretty strong in practice and qualifying as well, so maybe just more of a long-run truck.
There's a bit of a fight further back as well. Brent Bridges is fighting out with Chad Heath's already cut in there.
The 2 rookies racing side by side.
I gotta say, Larry Holloway has got both Tom Clayton and Andrew Melvin all over his rear right now. Like, I'm pretty sure Melvin was always pushing him from his quarter panel. That was real close.
Yeah, so
Melvin and Tom Clayton are still side by side.
Yep.
Fortunately, this is actually going to let Holloway get away a little bit as they fight it out, because they're going to be a little bit slower. And behind them as well, just going to point out Gemmel and Gameforth are still side by side.
Yeah, Gemmel already moving up quite a few spots too. He started back in, I think, 21st, up to 15th right now, so making his way forward. We've seen him run well.
There's a nice little fight going back from pretty much 20th all the way up to, I think that's like 16th. There's a nice little brawl going on. They're all fighting for position. As you see, Melvin on the inside now of Tom Clayton. They've switched sides. Now you've got Melvin trying the inside line. I don't think he's going to get the run on exit here.
Yeah, I think the trucks are getting tight on exit. You can see him kind of drift up there and not able to keep the momentum. Andrew Melvin is rocking.
Interestingly, Tyler Pluff is coming right up to Lupe Gonzales now. He's pretty much right on his bumper. I was saying before, Tyler Pluff has been getting faster and faster, and here he is right now behind the leader. Yep, they've got a little bit of room from Hatchell. He can try and make a move and try and get past without too much threat from Hatchell, but he's going to make it work the first time.
Yep, we've got a 3-car battle for the lead right now. So Lupe is out in front, still just about a 1/10 of a second, but Pluff all over him now, and Seth hanging back a car length and a half or so, and just waiting to see what happens, I guess. But
yeah, it looks like Jay Felton as well is still moving up. He's trying to catch up to Brad Speidel now. He's a bit slower last lap, but we'll see how he goes this lap. If he can keep catching up, he might get slingshotted from Brad Speidel up to this lead 3 pack. Wait and see how his lap went. And he's faster than the leaders at the moment.
Yeah, those guys racing it up a little bit means that you might have a few more cars. Oh, it looks like Pluff gets into Lupe a little bit in turn 2. Lupe saves it, which is it's a good job by him because he could have lost it very easily.
Actually, it looks like Lupe was already losing it there, and Pluff kind of straightened him out.
So Pluff doing him a favor and taking the lead at the same time.
I was going to mention this before. I was watching people doing practice. People were starting to lose it on exit, like the rear end was starting to let go. I thought those people just being silly and pushing, but apparently no, that's actually going to happen here. The rear end is just letting go.
Yeah, you can see Lupe's very loose. He's getting pinched down on the inside by Brad Speidel, who's now past him, and he's racing side by side with Jay Felton now. But yeah, Lupe's struggling now. Maybe burn the tires up a little bit too early, which we don't usually see him do, but the way they're building these setups now for these trucks and the changing track conditions, anything's possible.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he was just to think about it, he did his qualifying lap on essentially like full sun hot track. The track is now dropped by, what was that, 30 Fahrenheit?
Yeah, something
20
like that.
Fahrenheit.
Let's see.
Oh, we saw Brad Speidel lose it there. And,
yeah.
Lupe didn't even let go. I think what's happening here is the cars are getting tight until suddenly they get loose in the rear end. Like the front end won't turn, the rear end decides it's going to leave you.
Yep, and we just saw somebody way at the back of the pack. I think that was Jeff Sharp possibly getting loose.
Seth Hatchell giving Tyler Pluff the bump draft there. Wow, he's right up on his rear.
Yep, those guys nose to tail right now, racing for the lead. Lap 14 right now.
Felton is now in 3rd and catching up to them. So Felton has got a lot of pace and he's making use of it. And we see Pluff losing a lot of pace on exit there. So Hatchell going the inside.
I saw him get a little bit sideways on exit, and that's going to give Seth Hatchell an opportunity to get by. He goes to the inside.
Pluff drifts up wide. Sliding up. Hatchell's holding it pretty low down there. He's not going to slide up too badly, so Hatchell holds it safely in there.
He might
dive down the apron, get as much pace as possible.
Yeah, he beats him to the line for now. Just 28 thousandths of a second in front, and they're still side by side. I think Seth's going to have trouble down here. It's going to get loose on exit.
Look at the rear end. Look at that rear end. Look at that rear end of Hatchell. It's trying to let go. You're watching the rear end just like slip, slip, slip.
Oh, we got a wreck happening in the back. The number 40 of Brent Bridgers. I can't catch him.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one, too.
That's a big one, yeah. The 73 of Jeff Sharp, the 101, the 11. Paul gets involved in that. It's a big incident. And we are under caution for the first time on lap 15.
There's a few guys are going to be loving that's happened, because as much as you don't want to see a crash happen, I mean, you just don't want to be on these old tires. Look at the crash started with Ryan Gemmell and Larry Holloway.
Yeah, we're going to go back. We're going to see what happened to the 40, because he was the first one I saw going around.
Hold on. No. The crash actually started ahead of them. That was just a separate incident. Brent Bridges is where the crash actually
number
started.
40. Yeah, I saw him get sideways, and he got into the 101. 73 of Jeff Sharp gets into him, and then we've got cars diving and flying all over the place. The 11 bounces off the safer barrier down into Paul Zoda. So big contact there for a lot of different guys, and you may have a few of them out of it at this point already. So
this track is definitely it's changed rather rapidly. It's gone from people being tight on the corner, not being able to turn enough, to suddenly turning way too much, and you can't save it at that point.
Yeah, huge transition. I don't think these guys were ready for what it was going to feel like with the the shade. So
the one person I think he was kind of he was not ready for it, but he's able to save it, was Seth Hatchell on the inside of Tyler Pluff there. His car tried to let go 3 times on the inside of Tyler Pluff. You can pretty much just watch the rear end step out 3 or 4 times, and he managed to not only hold it, but hold the position too. So he should show you. It's scary, but you can make it work.
Yeah, Seth is a great driver. We've seen him have success in SOMO for the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. So it's not a surprise. He's one of the top guys, and he can hold on to this kind of a loose setup.
Oh, yeah. Just one day I want to get him in here. Just one day. Just one time. Just grab him and drag him in here. It's no, come on. So Alright, Tyler gets out ahead, and Brad Spido comes out in second. Good stop for him then.
Brad Spital taking over second again after he got loose and dropped a couple spots on track. But yeah, great stop there, 14.5. That's
interesting
one of the
to hear is yeah, Spital came out with the biggest win there, but Seth Hatchell dropped 2 positions in that pit stop.
Yeah, he had a 15.3, which is one of the 5 worst pit stops.
I'm going to double check see if he missed his stall or anything, but I don't think he did. I think he came in pretty smooth, so I'm kind of curious how he just lost that much time. Maybe he did a bigger fuel stop. No, I don't see anything wrong with the stop. It just appears that he just had a slow stop there.
Yeah. Kind of lucky to draw
that team more than crackers.
Yep. So we're going to run through the top 10 after that pit cycle. Right now, Tyler Pluff is back in the lead. He's led 5 laps, now 6 laps. Seth Hatchell is going to be scored. Okay, so Brad Spital scored 2nd, Jay Felton 3rd, Seth Hatchell back to 4th, Lupe back to 5th after starting on the pole. Timothy Lewis is 6th, Kurt Davidson 7th, Chad Heath 8th, Shayne Pipala in 9th, and Christopher Zima in 10th. So a couple of those guys.
I gotta say right now, the big pusher so far has been Jay Felton. He started 10th, he's now 3rd. He's been charging forward. Apparently he's comfortable in this car right now. I think he's probably one of the only guys on track that feels like that. That being said, Chad Heath from 12th to 8th is nothing to snort at. He's got 4 positions in the start of this race. Same can be said for Shayne Pipala right behind him.
Yeah, and we saw Jay last week at Atlanta be really, really good on the long run at the end of the race, and that setup looked like it was getting pretty loose on the long run. So maybe he is more comfortable with that type of a setup as well. So,
well, I can say right now, this short run he had there was amazing. He got past 4 or 5 cars in the same as many laps there. So I have to keep an eye on him, see how he goes. But unfortunately, some guys weren't quite ready for the loose on the longer runs. Looks like people burnt their tires up. You look at that! Look at the sun there! Look at that! Imagine how much hotter the track is there, and all of a sudden you hit the cold section, and all of a sudden it drops 10-20 degrees. I would love to be able to go on that track and just put a thermometer to the road and see how much the difference is.
Yeah, it would be cool to have a heat map or something to be able to take a look at that.
Oh yeah, my god. iRacing, please! Alright, so it looks like Tyler Pluff's going to elect the inside line. That's a pretty good call there.
Yeah, that's definitely the way to go on these restarts. And then Brad Spital on his outside. Seth Hatchell is going to be behind Spital, and Jay Felton behind Pluff, so it's very possible Felton could make his way up into second this early in the race.
Oh yeah, it depends on how Spidel's start goes for Hatchell if he can get in there. If Spidel has a bad start, then Felton might be able to get past both of them. And I think we're all pretty much willing to bet. I think Pluff is going to fly off like a rocket ship. Also, it looks like Andrew Melvin actually dropped out the server, unfortunately. That is a damn shame. He's come back, but unfortunately he's going to be a couple laps down now. That is an absolute shame.
Yeah, we may have enough time to, you know, for him to get back on the lead lap.
Oh yeah,
get a
because
couple
not just with the caution too, don't forget the stages will also count as cautions, which means he'll get moved forward if he's Lucky Dog.
Yeah, he can try and pull some strategy if he doesn't have the Lucky Dog position. You know, he can just stay out and get a wave around or something, but it's not over for him yet. As long as he doesn't go at least 3 laps down, he's still in contention, I think.
Well, so speaking of stages, we are halfway to the first stage. So that caution was perfectly timed for a 20-lap race until the first stage.
Yeah, so
is that safety car about to go in?
I think these guys are going to be able to pretty much go all out for this these last 20 laps. Pace car is in. Green flag is out.
And that's a good run for Pluff, and it looks like, yep, Brad Spide was not able to get a good start there, which means Felton's going to be coming on his inside already. And it looks like Hatch was just trying his best to push Spidel to get him faster, and he doesn't want to be stuck out this outside line.
Yeah, he doesn't really have anywhere to go. He's trying the 3rd lane, but I don't think that's going to work this early in the run.
Yeah, we got Lupe Gonzales back into 3rd already.
And right now, Jay Felton going to the outside of Tyler Pluff. He had a great run coming out of turn 2. Not going to have the momentum yet, but maybe he knows something we don't, and maybe he's going to try and work that high line. See him pulling a crossover move.
Yeah, he's going to get right down to the apron there too. He's going to steal that inside line. He's going to gain a hell of a lot of time on the apron here. And now look at that. He's a car length there. He's a quarter panel ahead now.
See if Pluff is able to stay with him. It doesn't look like it. So Jay Felton out to the lead.
Pluff's going to try the same thing on him. Pluff's going to try the same thing. Get a good run here and get on his inside. As you see, look at Lupe right behind him already, getting ready for this. Looks like no, Felton's going to hold that lead. Felton goes from 3rd to 1st.
So great restart by Jay Felton to now take the lead. Coming to
meanwhile,
lap.
further behind, we got a fight between Davidson and Seth Hatchell. Hatchell dropped back from 3rd down to like 6th now. And he's alongside who is that? It's Kurt Davidson.
Yeah, he's trapped up there on the high line, trying to squeeze down in, but it looks like Kurt Davidson sliding up the track.
Just squeezing him.
Yep.
Meanwhile, behind him, you got Shayne Pipala alongside Timothy Lewis as well.
Timothy Lewis just rubbed the wall.
This is getting real busy here. Yeah, getting real busy. Right behind them, they got Chad Heath, Ryan Gemmell, then you got Christopher Zima and Tom Clayton.
Yep,
this pack is getting real busy.
Almost 3 wide there between the 86, the 16, and the 4, but the 80 backed out of it.
And there's looking more cars going to join this pack. We've got a pack definitely developing here.
Yeah, what was kind of crazy is when you look back from the leader, we've still got 15 or 17 trucks kind of still in contention in this main pack. And
oh yeah, they're all in draft range of each other.
Yeah, so that's definitely a big factor here tonight, and that should keep everybody closer, and it should make for some exciting racing as we keep going. But yeah, we still see side-by-side between Shayne Pipala and Kurt Davidson. Those guys race side-by-side a lot in practice, and Ryan Gemmell up to 8th place. So huge movement from him. He has moved up 14 positions. So probably our biggest mover of the night.
And Pluff is coming back onto Felton again. He's right behind him again. We have to be careful with this big pack as well, because as we saw before, after like 15 or so laps, the cars got really loose. So if you're going to fight, you want to fight and get in the clean air as fast as you can so you can keep those tyres fresh, because otherwise you're going to be dancing on that throttle around these corners. And you see Gemmell now alongside David. Looks like Shayne managed to break away from him. That inside line is definitely showing its strength.
Yeah, I think it's going to get more difficult to pass as the run goes on.
Gemmell's trying to stick his nose in the inside of Davidson there. Oh, he might touch him. Oh.
Just stays off of him, but gets a good run coming out of turn 4 and is able to stay right on his quarter panel.
And that apron's really working for these people. Look how much time they gain from it.
Yeah, I think you gain about a car length when you do that, or at least half a car length. And it's going to be tough. Kurt Davidson holds him down tight.
Touches him again. Their tyres are starting to die now. You see people's tyres are starting to give out. So we might see another incident. People can't keep their cars straight. And you see Davidson back on the rear of Shayne Pipala now.
Yeah, that high line.
It's like Spartle having a slow run there. Almost got run over by Seth Hatchell.
Yep, Lupe now back in the mix. He's up to
Lupe
third.
On the inside. He's going to go past Tyler Pluff on the inside. He looks like he's trying to go 3 wide almost.
I think Lupe knew he made a mistake early, and he knows he's got the speed to get back up there, so he's racing his way back up. It's not really a surprise. We've seen how fast he's been these first couple races of the year.
Well, but look at that. He didn't get the pace on the inside line there. I'm curious if Pluff's willingly doing the outside line there to try and save his tyres and get the pace. The inside line is going to burn your tyres up after a while for sure. Didn't think it was going to be a problem here, but apparently that's definitely what's happening.
Yeah, I think it's just going to get more and more difficult to pass as the run goes on because it's going to be really loose or really tight on that bottom line. And the high line's just going to be so powerful, you're going to have the ability to hold people down as tight as you want.
And you don't destroy your tyres,
yeah. We see Seth Hatchell making a run coming out of turn 2. Squeezes to the outside of Lupe, and Lupe jumps down, give him some space.
Unfortunately, Hatchell has nowhere to go. He's got Pluff right home, and Pluff is going really wide there. Unfortunately, that means Hatchell can't quite complete the pass yet on Lupe yet.
These guys are all stacking up. Yeah, Shayne Pipala and Kurt Davidson right on his bumper. We see Brad Speidel and Ryan Gemmel working the inside line, so Gemmel actually making progress now.
3 deep. You see this fight just slowly getting bigger and bigger because it looks like these front guys just don't quite have the pace to defend. And they're slowing everyone down.
Yeah, meanwhile, Jay Felton's out front by a couple car lengths, but Tyler Pluff with a good run coming out of turn 4, able to gain a car length back, and he's going to get right to his bumper again.
Whoa! That car just woke up for Tyler there. Wow, that was a run. I'm curious if Felton's just trying to like keep it smooth and safe now. He's not pushing it, just keep it nice and relaxed. Or is he pushing as hard as he can?
Lupe touching the apron a little bit back there, racing side by side with Shayne
Hatchell now on the
Pipala.
inside of Pluff. He's going to try it again.
It seems like these guys are trying to work the outside and then get as much momentum and then dive it down, hoping to make a pass. But the inside line doesn't necessarily.
Doesn't seem to be working. As he's now, they're always going to go 3 wide with Jay Felton in the middle of Hatchell and Pluff.
Yep,
Hatchell
3
goes
wide.
all the way down to the apron.
See if anybody backs out of it. Pluff backs out of it.
Does, yep. Now we see if Felton can defend on that high line. And it looks like Hatchell touched the white line. His rear end's starting to let go. Look at that. You can see it.
Oh, there it goes. See if he gets hit. Speidel. And we got a big wreck. Shayne Pipala flying through the air again. We saw that happen to him last week. The 16, the 4, the 24, the 7, the 3. Another big one taking out some heavy hitters here tonight. Those guys taking some heavy hits. Let's go back here and take a look.
We even saw that one coming straight away. We knew what was going to happen there. He was just starting a little bit loose, lost a little bit of pace, and you don't want to do that in the middle of this gigantic pack we had.
Yeah, so Seth Hatchell gets loose there. Shayne Pipala gets into him, comes up off the bottom, gets hit by the 16, and lifts off the ground. Goes for a couple spins. The 24 spinning to try and avoid stuff. The 3 hits Ron Hollyfield there. The 15, the 70. Lots of people getting involved in that.
You see Hatchell just trying, he's desperately trying not only to hold it down there, but to keep this pace, and just after a while, just let go a bit too much.
We're taking a look.
And while he could have saved it, there's too many cars around him. He couldn't save with that many cars around. And Shay going for a ride again.
Yeah, if you want to take a look at his truck right now, he's basically 45 degrees while he's driving straight. So definitely going to have some issues with that truck. I'm pretty sure he's done for the night. And we see the leaders coming into pit road. A few guys staying out. Chad Heath going to stay out, as well as the 46 of Adam Jones and the 56 of William Chappell, all 3 rookies. And we do only have 7 laps to go in the stage, so they may try to make it on the old tires. But
I think the idea. Whoa! Oh God, Melvin almost went straight to Adam Jones there. My God. I mean, the thing is, there's enough of these guys. I bet there's 3 cars that are going to go off on old tires if they all stay out. They could slow down the pack enough that they might get 10th or so before the stage end, which is still a big win. Except for Chad Heath. Chad Heath actually was fighting for like 8th.
And we see Tyler Pluff win the race off pit road again. So another great stop from his pit crew of 14.7. And then behind him is going to be Lupe. Yep. Felton.
I think Felton's going to be ahead of maybe. Which way is it going? Because it looks like Jay's gone ahead of Lupe, which means he might have gotten the position and Lupe's letting him pass.
Yeah, we'll see here. Maybe they were just trying to get sorted out.
Nope, it looks like Felton just got him before the cones. So it looks like Felton will get that position.
Yep, Kurt Davidson behind them, as well as Ryan Gemmel, Paul Zoda, and Jeremy Watkins, the newcomer right now in the top 10.
He's doing all right. Just keep it safe, man. This is a 134 lap race, not a 34 lap race.
We're taking a look at Seth Hatchell. He's only got a little bit of damage on the right rear. Actually, it's pretty good damage. Then he's also got some on the left front, so that's going to affect him pretty seriously here, I think, as aerodynamic as this track is, and as loose as these trucks are. So.
That's the weird thing, right? It's not like they're just constantly loose. It's like they're going tight, and all of a sudden they start getting loose, and just, at that point you're done.
Yeah.
But you either have to slow down a lot and save the car, or you have to just push it and try and save it. And as you saw Hatchell, he tried his absolute damnedest. Just could not quite make it work.
Yeah, he was doing a good job, and if he hadn't been hit from behind, he would have saved the truck. But unfortunately, they were all stacked up behind him, so really nowhere to go, and that's kind of just what's going to happen.
You do not want to be the guy getting loose in front of a 10-car pack.
Exactly.
You do not want to be that guy.
And right now, we are at 101 laps remaining. We've got 5 lead changes so far in the 2 cautions in our first stage still. The first stage is going to be at lap 40, so we're closing in on that pretty quickly.
I'm sorry, the Ric Flair paint jump Chad Heath. So that just
he's got him on the hood there. I'm just taking a look at it right now. Let's take a look from the front. Oh. Yeah, he's all over the hood of that truck.
I'm sorry, it's a little too amusing for me.
Then the Chevron paint scheme there of Adam Jones in the 46. He's going to be on his outside for this restart, followed by the Valvoline 56 of William Chappell, who I think may also be making his first start here. I don't remember seeing him in the first couple races this season, so a couple of the new guys, well, all 3 of these guys are rookies to the league in the front right now. So we'll see if their decision to stay out is actually going to work. I'm not sure exactly.
I mean, here's the thing, right? If they end up the stint in the top 10 somewhere, that's a win. That's a guaranteed win. Because they were somewhere further back, and they're going to hopefully avoid the massive wreck that's going to happen.
Yeah, and the points are definitely important. We'll kind of run through the standings, you know, a little bit as we get farther into this race and just see where people were at, you know, while we're racing here. But these guys being rookies and some of them making their first starts, they're going to need as many points as they can get to potentially make it into the chase later this year. And I think Chad Heath has gotten some decent points from the first 2 races, but the other guys I haven't necessarily seen up at the front. So every point.
Unfortunately, we've lost quite a few drivers in the instant too. We've lost. Let's have a look. See here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drivers, I believe, from that incident. So that's a shame.
Yep. Yep. I think from that specific incident, we've only lost 3, but we've had a few missing. You know, 4 guys.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Sorry, I missed a few guys that actually went in that one. Yep. Anyways, back to restart. Oh, there goes another one. They're dropping like flies.
Yep. I'm going to let you get them going here.
Yeah, no worries, mate. So we're going to see how Chad Heath and the next 2 drivers behind him are going to go in these old tyres with this very hungry pack right behind him. But green flag? Wait, really? Yep, green flag. Sorry, my bad.
Chad Heath with a pretty good start there.
Yeah, I'm going to say this front 3 cars did not have a really bad start whatsoever.
Yeah, the 56
really well.
William Chappell all over his back bumper. The 46 able to drop down in. And then the guys on new tires are side by side still. We'll see what their move is here. Maybe they're just trying to avoid the incident that is probably going to happen, but not really gaining a ton of ground. We see Jay Felton catching up to the 46, but nobody making any moves for position yet.
I'm curious if Chad Heath and William Chappell have an agreement right now just to bump draft away to victory. Because I don't think, I mean, I would say Chappell's not trying to push him. Oh, almost touches his quarter panel there. That was close.
If those guys, 56 sliding up the track.
He says tires start to die. Felton's flying forwards. Shayne Pipala's going to go down below the white line. They're not get an instant go for the pass on the inside. We have 3 wide. 46 almost flying into Lupe Gonzales as we got Felton now on the outside for the pass for the lead.
Having the 56 pinching down the 41, but everybody's surviving so far. Right now we're about 3 wide between the 56, 99, and the 53. But Jay Felton back out front
now with all these slow tires. Yeah, Felton's now ahead with Tyler Clough behind. It looks like we've got Kurt Davidson going to be coming into 3rd place and getting past the slow car of Chad Heath. And we now got Paul Zoda right behind him too.
Yep.
This pack got messy quick.
Lupe Gonzales and Ryan Gemmel working the high line trying to get by these guys. 80 drifting up the track in front of Lupe, and that's going to slow him down. We're coming to 1 to go for the stage, and Jay Felton is back out front. Tyler Plouffe in 2nd. And Kurt Davidson now up to third. These guys survived the last few laps with the few cars that did stay out. So good job by those drivers to get out of the way and not cause any incidents.
From the behind from number 6. Oh, we almost got turned.
I don't want to speak too soon.
Real shunt.
We still got 2 more corners, so we'll see what happens. But Jay Felton looking like he's on his way to another stage win.
And we're now 3 wide back here from like 5th onwards.
Oh, and Paul Zota gets turned. Lupe Gonzales goes flying, and I spoke too soon. We did get an incident at the end of that.
That's going to be Paul's car gone. That was an absolutely horrific hit.
Yeah, and it looks like Ron Hollyfield also got involved in that as Paul was drifting down back down the track. So we are back under caution now for the 3rd time. That is going to be the end of the stage.
Oh no, that is Lupe Gonzales and Paul Zota out of the race. Lupe's car is like belching black smoke, so is Paul's car as well. And then he took out another car by accident too. I think Ron Hollifield was in the wrong place at the wrong time there.
Yeah, as Paul drifted back down. Yeah, it looks like a little net code between the 99 and the 80, but just enough to spin Paul up into Lupe, and those guys definitely both done. And then, yeah, we'll see Ron Hollifield come by here. Paul must not have seen him, but it looks like Ron may be able to continue. I don't see any smoke coming out of that truck. He is in pit road.
I don't think Netco would cause that incident. I think they were going to happen anyway. They already were touching pretty much. That was going to happen. It's a shame. The slow tire car of Chad Heath, just wrong place, wrong time, and took out Paul Zota, unfortunately.
Yeah.
There's now people in their pit stalls.
Yeah, and the pole sitter of Lupe Gonzales is out of it as well now. So a couple guys that were potentially contenders to win this race are done. And we're whittling down this field, probably down to under 20 drivers at this point. Tyler Pluff wins the race off pit road again. So you better give his pit crew a raise. He's got however much cocaine he's feeding his pit crew is really working. Yeah, he's getting really good stops. 14.3 from him. We did see a 13.9 from Larry Holloway, so a good stop by his crew. And maybe a speeding penalty on Adam Jones here. He's dropping.
Interesting, by the way, is that I think William Chappelle there was the guy who won out of all that. He's one of the guys who did not take tires. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, having a connection issue, it looks like. But yeah, it looks like he. Let's see here. There we go. I had an issue there. Camera wouldn't change, but yeah, I lost William Chappell.
Yeah, he looks like he's left to serve it.
So let's do a quick rundown of the top 10 now after they went through the pit cycle again. And we're now starting stage 2. Tyler Pluff is your leader. Jay Felton, who won the first stage, is going to restart second. Kurt Davidson third. Ryan Gemmel up to 4th after starting all the way back in 22nd. So big mover there. Timothy Zayas is up to the top 5. Larry Holloway currently in 6th. Seth Hatchell, after getting involved in that one incident, is back into the top 10 in 7th. And then Jeremy Watkins, newcomer, in 8th. Chad Heath in 9th after getting caught up in that incident. And Adam Jones in 10th. So a few of these guys already recovering from things that have happened throughout the race, but a couple guys we didn't necessarily expect to see up front, like the newcomers, and Larry Holloway having a great run here tonight as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, also Tyler Pluff, like I said before, he's actually doing better and better, but look at that. He's now in the lead now. And he wasn't slow in the race. It's not like he got in the lead by luck. He got in the lead by racing hard and getting up here. And Felton with that massive charge at the start. Now he's right where he wants to be in stage 2. Yeah, setting up for a final stage win.
He got all those bonus points from the first stage, which will definitely help him. He's had some pretty good finishes so far in the stages, but didn't have a great result at Daytona after getting caught up in an incident. So definitely needs as many points as he can get. And I think he's going to be one of the contenders throughout the season. He's really shown a lot of strength early. So
you see Jeremy Watkins going into the pit lane as well.
So Jeremy going back in, maybe getting more fuel.
Or getting to the back of the field and just waiting. Because he's after the bit of carnage we've seen, he might be waiting for the very end. Yep. And going for that final stage.
And there are a lot of cars out of it, so not really going to lose too many positions by doing so. I think there's only 13 drivers on the lead lap, the last being Brad Speidel, currently in 13th. He's got pretty heavy damage on the right side of that truck as well, so
Yeah, he's been, once again, unfortunately, like, Spiral's always near the front, but he keeps getting involved in incidents that aren't quite his fault. He just happens to be there at the wrong place at the wrong time, every time.
And these guys
the story of his career so far.
They're doubling up again. They're on the back straightaway now, about to come get the green flag to start stage 2.
I think it's going to be a question of if Felton can break away from Pluff again, or if Pluff can get ahead of Felton and just stay there. Because Felton was showing that he can get to the front real quick.
Yeah, it seems like Jay Felton's got some good speed on those first couple laps, and I don't know if Tyler Pluff just has to wait a couple before he can really get a handle on it, but he really comes around and he puts a lot of pressure on Jay, so we'll see what these guys can do here as we...
Especially with a longer stint, yeah. Very curious. Start's yours, man.
Yep, pace car is in. Tyler Pluff's going to get him going. And waiting on the green flag. There it is. Tyler Pluff gets him going with a good jump. Jay Felton, not as good of a jump. We'll see if Kurt Davidson can take advantage of that. Ryan Gemmel all over Kurt right now. And the 10 car of Timothy Zayas on the outside as well. Seth Hatchell looking to his inside.
Fortunately, outside line guys are seeming to lose pace there, as the inside line looks like Hatchell dove in there and got onto the inside. Gemmel's taking the mid to highlight. Gemmel's willingly going to a high line. I guess because he's on his own, got all the room in the world. He's now going to the high line on Kurt Davidson.
Yeah, it looks like he got a good run there and kind of had to jump up high to avoid running into the 41. And it cost him a little bit of momentum as the 10 and the 8 are now catching back up to him. But he did get to the outside of the 41. But going to lose that on entry here going into turn 1.
I'm curious what he's doing here. I'm also very curious. It does seem to be actually kind of working. He actually is not losing time. It's actually gaining on Kurt Davidson on the outside line.
Yeah, I think the fact that you can hold people down through the center of the turn, it just it's got a lot of power. These guys really close though.
The interesting part as well is that while he's doing this, he's not destroying his tires too bad. He's making a pass without killing his tires. As we've seen so far in this race, if you destroy your tires, you're going to lose control. This is actually working for Gemmel. He's going to destroy Davidson's tires and take the position. That is a really well done pass.
Looks like Kurt's going to give up the position for now. Ryan Gemmel now up into the top 3, so a really good charge by him. Seth Hatchell is working on Kurt Davidson now.
A bit of a fight between Chad Heath and Larry Holloway back for a 7th and 8th position. Chad Heath defending that inside line there. I think he's actually going to make the pass on the inside. Looks like Holloway's car's got a few rather large dings in it.
Yeah, the back bumper on that truck is pretty beat up, as well as the right front. Looks like it's got a big dent in it as well.
And Davidson's dropping a lot of pace. Hatchell passed it cleanly easy. Not mention Zayas now is inside as well, so he just dropped a lot of pace.
So Kurt Davidson maybe trying to save the tires here, you know, expecting a long run. We do have quite a few trucks out of it, so may not get the cautions that we've seen so far.
Yeah. Alternatively, he may have burned his tires up trying to defend against Gemmel, and now you can see his car maybe trying to recover a bit.
That is
possible. So wait and see.
We see Larry Holloway working with Chad Heath right now, or Adam Jones actually. Those guys racing side by side, and it looks like Larry Holloway holds on to the spot, but Adam Jones now looking to his inside.
Interesting, by the way, is that Ryan Gemmel has actually caught up to Jay Felton. Felton has not had the pace he had the last stage.
Yeah, Tyler Pluff had the fastest lap there, but Gemmel not far off, just a couple hundredths off.
Yeah, like we saw the previous stage that we saw Felton just flying forward like a rocket ship. This time, he's not doing that. He's got Gemmel on his rear end, and he's not able to shake him yet. I'm curious if he's trying to save and hold on to it. There's a lot less cars on the race now, unfortunately. So maybe he's thinking there's no caution, and I need to save my tires.
And we'll see if they can make it on fuel. They are running 100%, so I would expect them to be able to make it. Looks like Seth Hatchell maybe had some issues coming out of turn 4, and Timothy Zayas is all over his bumper. Those guys are racing it out. So yeah, we probably won't see any fuel strategy or tire strategy throughout this race, just because the stages are so short and they're at 100% fuel. This is 100% race length, so this is exactly what they would run in real life in these trucks. So
yeah, I'm very curious to see what happens, because it's going to be essentially who can keep their tires alive without losing pace. For instance, Davidson's still going, but he's now under attack by Chad Heath now, so he's getting attacked by 7th. And behind him is Adam Jones in 8th, so he might get attacked again. See Chad Heath now going on the inside of Kurt Davidson now.
Chad Heath
hope he doesn't slide up at all.
Pretty good lap actually, just as fast as Seth Hatchell, and Adam Jones running the fastest lap on the track that time, so he's making his way forward.
He's right next to Chad Heath on the outside, so he's going to try and make the pass on the outside here. And we got Ryan Gemmell trying to stick his nose in the inside of Jay Felton. That could go badly if one makes a mistake. Looks like Felton defends the position. Actually, it looks like they're catching, if I'm not mistaken. They're actually catching Tyler Pluff now.
About a 1/10 of a second faster there for Jay Felton over Tyler Pluff, and Ryan Gemmell about the same lap time as Jay Felton. So those guys are making their way forward. Yeah, you can see the gap visibly closing down.
Yeah,
now about
wow.
2 car lengths. So Tyler Pluff maybe struggling a little bit after a few laps, maybe already burned him up.
I was watching him in the entrance there. It looked like his rear end was starting to let go a little bit. Perhaps that was the way he's driving it, though. I have to watch again just to have a double check on that. I think, like, if I'm watching it from cockpit correctly, it looks like that rear end is starting to let go for Tyler Pluff. Nothing major yet, but it's, you know, once that starts happening, it doesn't stop. You see Felton now on the inside of Tyler Pluff already.
Yep, Felton looking to the inside. Ryan Gemmell right there waiting to take advantage in case something happens.
And Felton's going to dive down to the apron, try and get as much pace as he can on Tyler Pluff here.
And we see Seth Hatchell and Timothy Zayas waiting back there as well, so if these guys keep racing it up, we might have a 5-car battle for the lead. It's like Felton not quite able to get the momentum coming out of the turn. Ryan Gemmell gets a good run.
Wiggling. Look at Felton wiggling there on exit there. He had to try and save it. You get locked down to that low line, your car just starts to really become a scary beast to drive.
Yeah, and Ryan Gemmell now on his outside trying to take advantage. It looks like he's going to get a pretty good run coming out of turn 4. Felton working the apron though, going to make up some time down there. Seth Hatchell is closing in on these guys as they go around Brad Speidel.
Yeah. Speidel's actually the back end of the pack there during that last restart. It looks like his car is too damaged, he's got no pace at all.
Yeah, really down on speed it looks like. Just getting out of the way for these guys.
Now we've got Gemmell coming up towards Pluff. We'll see if Gemmell makes an attack soon. I think, like, this is my bet. Unless you've got the pace to make it on 1 or 2 corners, it might be worth trying to steal the outside line. Because if you go on the inside line, it looks like, what's his name? Damn it. Pluff is going to hold you down the white line. At that point, you're going to lose all your pace as Felton did. So it might be worth trying to steal that outside line somewhere.
Yep, Gemmell running the fastest lap out of anyone on that one, and just a little bit faster than Pluff, but not quite enough to catch up to him. But yeah, separated by about a 1/4 of a second at the moment. Jay Felton was working the outside there for a moment on Ryan Gemmell, but didn't get enough momentum coming out of turn 2. But it looks like he gets a pretty good run here out of turn 4. Ryan Gemmell's trying to hold him off while also trying to chase down Pluff for the lead. So it's a tough situation to be in, but as long as he focuses forward, he
and Gemmell
gets on the apron.
Gemmell touched the white line there.
He went around.
He's going to take out Timothy Zayas.
So big damage for those guys. No caution at the moment because they're both off track. They're both going to make it back up on the track, and that's going to cost them all the track position, all that time. We'll see if they're able to continue. Gemmell's got right front damage. It looks like Zayas towed
behind the wall. Yeah. Gemmell's car is going, and there is no caution here. There's going to be 2 cars taking out this lead pack, and it looks like it's going to leave Jay Felton now on his own to try and fight off against Tyler Pluff.
Yep, so
no one else around him for a while.
Yeah, Ryan Gemmell.
And look at that pace that Felton had. Wow!
Yeah, Felton all over Pluff now.
Pluff there. That was amazing. He had to actually brake there to not take out Pluff. That was an amazing amount of pace.
Seth
and now he's got room behind him. Hatchell's a good distance away, so Felton might actually have a chance to make the pass here with no threat behind him. Let's try the inside line again.
And as those guys battle, Seth Hatchell is reeling them in. Jay Felton drifts up the track a little bit on entry.
Yeah, it looked like Felton actually went in a little higher that time, not allow Pluff to close him off entirely.
And Hatchell picking to the outside.
Yeah, it didn't quite work enough to make the pass, but he definitely didn't let Pluff lock him down to that white line.
I think that's what it's going to take. You're going to have to enter high, and the guy on the outside is going to have to enter higher. Jay Felton with a big run coming out of 4, but Pluff is working that apron, able to kind of stretch the lead back behind.
He had his chance to make an attack, but now he's got Seth Hatchell here. And Hatchell's going to try the inside line on Felton. Felton goes a little wider on entry there. And doesn't quite work. It looks like that high line is working for Felton now. We've got 20 laps to go until the first stage ends.
Tyler Pluff still holding on for the moment, but Jay Felton and Seth Hatchell are all over him. Kurt Davidson's back and forth all by himself. Adam Jones in 5th. He's got Chad Heath not too far behind. Those guys are about 2.5 seconds back from the leaders. And then Larry Holloway is in 7th. Tom Clayton is in 8th. Jeremy Watkins is going to round out.
Once you get past 6th, it turns into a battle of the cripples. Whoever can get their broken car over the line.
Yeah, Ryan Gemmel currently the last car on the lead lap. He's 24, 25 seconds back from the leaders, so that damage is really hurting him. He's not able to keep the pace up. So
see, Seth Hatchell trying to stick the outside, trying to steal the outside line from Felton there. And he's his line on the inside line now.
Yep, Felton and Hatchell side by side going into turn 1 and 2. We'll see if Hatchell can make it work down there.
This is twice Hatchell's been down there and lost his rear end, so he's got to be careful. He's got to be careful with going to that white line, because if he does it, he's going to lose his tires again.
Yep, Pluff is now stretching the lead back out up to 0.4 of a second in front of these guys, and he's working a little higher line, which is probably helping through the center of the turn, helping to keep the truck tight.
And it's probably saving his tires a little bit more too. He's not destroying his tires like the low line's probably is doing.
Jay Felton with a big run there, though, cuts the gap in half.
I feel like Felton's got the pace, he's just waiting to the moment to use it. Either that or he's getting the pace, trying an attack, failing, losing his pace, and getting it back and trying again.
Yeah, he's now back on the bumper, less than 0.2 of a second, so maybe he's just, maybe he's just trying to time the attack, because I think the line that you choose for the attack is really important. I don't think you can really pass on the inside here, as we saw Seth Hatchell try a few times. He hasn't been able to make it work.
Yeah, I think the only time the inside line's going to work is if you manage to push the guy ahead way out wide, like all the way out to the Larson line almost.
Yeah, we see Felton kind of...
Look at that run, yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of diamonding the corner. He gets down to the inside now. They're side by side for the lead.
Really good run for Felton. This is probably the furthest ahead he's been on entry here. So this might work if he can get a good run here. See Hatchell catching up as well. It looks like Felton's actually getting his nose ahead. He's going to dive to the apron to get a bit more pace as well. Hatchell might try and get inside a Pluff, which might turn it 3 wide. Looks like Hatchell's going to wait. Look at Felton getting his front quarter panel ahead now. Yep. He's slowly getting a bit of distance.
He led that lap. We've got 15 laps to go to the end of the stage. We see Pluff getting a little bit loose, but able to keep up the momentum on the outside.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Seth
Hatchell, his
Hatchell
outside line strength.
Riding right with him, trying to keep the draft.
Felton's going to make this pass soon, because otherwise he's going to destroy his tires, and Hatchell's just watching this going perfect.
Yeah, Felton not able to complete it yet. I think Tyler Pluff's going to lead this lap. Let's see. It's going to be very close. 9 1/1000 at the line.
Looks like that. Looks like the exit of turn 2 is where Felton's dying to Pluff. Like watching this exit.
Pluff getting loose there.
Control.
Able to hold on to it. That checked up Seth Hatchell, though. It looks like Felton also potentially got loose. He didn't really gain too much ground, but able to complete the pass finally because of that mistake by Pluff.
I think Felton was... I don't think Felton was getting loose. I think Felton was on the edge of it. Like, you know, the moment where the car's getting a little loose, but you can really make use of it? I've seen you do this, Mr. Rotation.
Yeah.
And yeah, looks like Hatchell's getting past.
It's definitely ideal, I think, when the truck's just loose enough to get it to turn and kind of pivot, and you can ride that right rear tire.
Yeah. It's a danger, it's scary, you can risk losing the car, but if you can make it work, it's a lot of pace to be found. As you can see by look at Felton just flying away.
Yep, now out to a 3/10 lead over Seth Hatchell, who's moved his way up to second. These guys are coming up on Ryan Gemmel, who's going across the start-finish line now, and he's got heavy damage on that left side and went from a top contender to...
Felton's doing 180 miles an hour. Gemmel was doing like 173. It's painful. And Gemmel's going to hate this, watching him go past. He was fighting for the lead with these guys, and now he's going to be getting lapped. That's not a fun experience.
Luckily for him, Brad Speidel is the next car a lap down. Or actually, Jeff Glockner is the next car a lap down, and he is quite a ways back from Gemmel. So should be able to hold on to the lucky dog position coming to the end of the stage, but definitely not going to be too happy about what happened.
Interestingly, Hatchell is faster than Felton this last lap by 1/10. That probably might be the draft talking there, but perhaps he actually has the pace.
Yep, and Kurt Davidson actually running a very good lap there. He's back and forth, getting by Ryan Gemmel right now, but starting to close in on these guys as the run goes on.
I saw Felton on exit 2 there. His rear end actually was starting to let go. Not like a controlled leg go. That was where it's starting to lose pace.
You see Seth peeking to the inside.
Yeah. To go down the apron, Felton's going to get as low as he can before letting Hatchell back on the track.
Very close as he comes back up on the banking.
Felton's going to hold Hatchell down there. That's the perfect way to do it.
Seth having to back out of it. You see he loses all that momentum on exit. Not able to stay there with Jay, and Jay's going to claim the lead again.
You can't play too nice. You have to kind of, if the guys give you room, you have to make room a little bit. You can't be too rude about it. You can't go slamming the door real hard. But if they try and close in, you have to try and close in with them. Just risk it. With 9 laps to go, I mean, Hatchell's got time. He doesn't have to push it now, but he's going to have to make that pass aggressively as he can.
Yeah, it's pretty much a 3-car battle right now for the lead for this stage win. We see Jay Felton getting a little bit loose coming out of the turn. Seth getting a good run and peeking to the inside now. So they're coming up on Brad Speidel, another lap car.
Yep. And it looks like Felton's giving him room this time. Unfortunately, Speidel's going to get in the way of Felton, I think. Felton's going to go wide.
He gets a little bit loose there and drifted up the track, and it looks like Seth's going to be able to clear him now. Comes up from the apron, and yes, Seth Hatchell's going to take over the lead, leading only a 2nd lap so far, so getting a little bit loose up there.
Dude, his first 3 cars, look at them all dancing around the track now.
And slowly but surely,
riding on the edge.
Yep, Kurt Davidson's reeling them all in as they battle up there, running very good laps back there, so we'll see if he's able to contend for this stage win as we get a little bit closer, but right now coming to 7 to go.
Davidson's been playing calm and careful at the moment, and there's not also pointing out that Adam Jones has also been sitting about the same lap pace as them. If he can get in the draft, he'll be up in this pack as well, so it might be a 5-car race near the end. Yeah, 7 laps to this stage end.
He's gained about a ½ second since we last checked on him, so making his way towards the front. But maybe going to run out of time. He's going to have to be a couple tenths faster every lap to even get there. So
the question I think is Felton going to make a re-attack now, or is he going to wait for like the very last couple of laps on the stage and go for the charge then? He's still comfortable enough to go down below that white line. It's probably not doing his tyres too much damage, but it's at this point I probably want to be trying to keep my tyres alive as much as I can.
Yep. Looks like.
Oh, see Felton's rear end there. Look at that. You see that again.
Just a little bit loose. I think the low exit that he's trying is not working right now, as we see Tyler Bluff gain about a car length on him.
And Hatchell's slowly getting some distance too.
Yeah, so Hatchell trying to be smooth and steady. We see Kurt Davidson still reeling him in though. This is almost a 4-car pack. He's probably got a little bit of the draft at this point. So
I remember when we mentioned at the start of that last restart that Davidson looks like he was saving his tires. If he has been, he's in the best position of all these cars.
Yeah, he ran a 31.852 to Seth Hatchell's 31.87, so a little bit faster, and I think he's the fastest car on track. So making his way forward, 0.7 of a second behind right now. Seth Hatchell is stretching the lead a little bit, though. You see Tyler Bluff peeking to the outside of Jay Felton now. Felton working the apron, going to be able to clear him going into turn 1. They're coming up on another lap truck. Who's that? Andrew Melvin? Possibly. Nope. Not sure, but yep, Seth Hatchell working to the inside of the lap truck, and we see Jay Felton now diving down inside.
That lap truck is David Neitzel.
David Neitzel.
Yep. So see if Felton's got anything left. I think Felton might have cooked everything he's got. We'll have to wait and see. I don't think he's got much pace anymore, because he's trying, he's pushing it, and every once in a while the rear end will let go and lose all the work he's put in. Yeah,
he's about a 1/4 of a second back, but not gaining. He was a little bit faster, actually, 1/2 tenth faster that lap, but yeah.
Oh, hello! Actually, I just watched a bit of Hatchell there in the rear end. His rear end started to let go and exit, like right at the very exit. I mean, he's definitely going to be pushing it for that to happen.
And the track is getting darker and darker and cooling off even more. We're down to 68 degrees Fahrenheit again, so back down a few more degrees since the start of the race.
And the sun's almost entirely gone. I don't think this track actually has any lights, and the lights in these cars are just stickers.
So this will be interesting as it gets darker, but luckily iRacing's a little bit brighter than it would be in real life. So hopefully they'll still be able to see, but it's gonna make it interesting for sure. We're coming to 1 to go this time for the stage. Seth Hatchell currently out front.
It looks like Pluff keeps trying to stick his nose, but I don't think he's quite got the pace to make it. And I have to see if Felton's got anything left in the tank now.
Yeah, and Kurt Davidson not able to close in. He lost a 10th to Hatchell that last lap. So he made a charge, but wasn't able to quite get there to these top 3. But right now on the last lap of the stage, going down the backstretch, Hatchell's got a 2/10 lead over Jay Felton, who got a pretty good run coming out of turn 2 there, but not going to be enough. We'll see if Pluff tries anything.
I mean, short of a mistake, I think looks like Hatchell's going to have it.
So Seth Hatchell is going to be the stage 2 winner as he comes to the line. So Seth Hatchell captures stage 2. Let's go through the stage results here. Wait until the top 10 make it across the line. I don't think anything's going to change.
I don't think anyone's really in range to fight each other at the moment.
Yeah, caution is out. So Seth Hatchell's going to be the stage winner. Jay Felton in second. Tyler Pluff comes home third there in the stage. Kurt Davidson up to fourth. Adam Jones in fifth. Chad Heath sixth. Larry Holloway seventh. Tom Clayton eighth. Jeremy Watkins, again the newcomer, in ninth. And David Neitzel in 10th place. So good job by all those guys. It definitely is getting dark out there.
Oh, yeah. And David Neitzel was going to be the guy who gets the lucky dog here as well. So he just got lapped by those guys. He's now going to get his lap straight away back and get right back at the pack. And I got to say, the car is pretty bent. Like, my God, back right is damaged, the front right is damaged, the front looks damaged. I don't think Neitzel, even with that lap back, I don't think he's going to have really much pace.
And this is pretty interesting to see the pace car has lights. I'm going to see if I can brighten up this image just because it's very dark. Hopefully people can see the stream. Let's see.
Yeah, this is like the pink scene pictures. I just see the Sunico light just really bright. I wonder if there's going to be a race of like just the blind leading the blind in the end. You see Felton getting right on the rear of Seth Hatchell there on the entrance.
So that's a little bit clearer than I think it was before.
Whoa, what the? Adam Jones did not pit.
So Jones leading a lap. I don't think they're giving out bonus points for laps led anymore, since there's the stage points now. Yeah, we're looking on pit road. We can see the lights on the ambulance and then on the safety truck, but no lights on the race trucks. So it is very dark out there.
I should point out, by the way, the timing in game is 8 p.m.
Yeah, so this is something I guess they didn't expect when they set up the race server. So this will be a whole new challenge that these guys probably have never faced before.
Yeah, I think I heard Paul, who hosted the sent a message that he might have made it a bit too late. And yeah, Paul, I can agree with that. It's a little dark.
Let's see what it looks like on the inside of these trucks, because they don't really have lights. They have some lights on the dashboard.
There is no lights. There is no lights on track, and there is no lights in the car beyond the dash. That's it.
Yeah, it looks like there are lights around the track, but they're just not turned on. So
I'm not seeing any, to be honest. I'm looking around. I don't see any actual lights. I'm seeing the occasional like little light here and there. There might be like a caution light, but there's no actual racing lights.
Yeah, it looked like I saw some in the turns, but yeah, I don't see any on the straightaways. So this is an interesting situation that.
I think if there was any actual lights, then we would see them on, because the pace car lights are currently on.
Right. Yeah, I don't think they're on. I think the lights are just turned off. So it's kind of a interesting scenario we got going on here, but it's definitely dark in there. I'm riding on board with Kurt Davidson right now, and it's pretty interesting. Their depth perception is probably going to be thrown off quite a bit, just because they're not used to this.
Hold up a sec. What's that, Paul?
Hey guys, we just want to let you know there's a problem on the track. Obviously you see that with the lights and all. We are going to end the race at lap 90.
Oh, okay. So we're going to have a 7 or 6 lap shootout.
Yeah, a lot of guys are saying they can't see right now as it is. And obviously you see the lights ain't coming on. So we just took a quick wide vote and we're going to do a 90 finish. So once we get to lap 90, whoever's in whatever position, that'll be the end of the race.
Fair enough. So it's going to be essentially a 5-lap shootout between, I think that is 10 cars. The top 10 will be fighting it out.
All right, thanks for the update, Paul. So
all right, guys.
Yeah, we'll wait to see what happens here. It should be pretty interesting.
All right, good luck up there.
Thanks.
Alright, so that's going to be interesting news for sure. I will say, it is actually remarkably dark. I have my monitor brighter than most people do, and I don't want to imagine what these guys are seeing right now.
Yeah, I had to turn the contrast and the brightness way up on the stream to even be able to see the trucks really. Yeah, my monitor is very dark right now, so Seth Hatchell is going to be in a pretty good position, though, with only a few laps remaining. As long as he can make it around the track, it's really going to come down to, I think, these top 4
Yeah, that being said, by the way, curious thing is, remember we saw Tyler Pluff with a mountain load of pace in the first part of the race. We saw the same thing with Felton at the very first 2 stages. He had just monumental pace.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very curious if Pluff and Felton are going to have the same pace, or if Hatchell is going to have that pace. And also, I'm going to say as well, we saw Kurt Davidson was saving in that last stint. He was being really careful. Does he have pace? I don't know.
He did have a pretty good qualifying lap, and he and Shayne were racing it up side by side, and we're putting up some pretty good times in practice. So, yeah, maybe he's got a shot at it here on this short run. But yeah, only going to be going to lap 90, and then we're going to end this. So a curveball being thrown our way, we did not expect tonight. But we're going to get out of here a little bit early, so that I guess that's kind of nice. But
make sure you've got your hot dogs from the concession stand early, because the concession stands will be closing in 10 minutes.
Yeah, hopefully they have lights.
Yeah, I know, right? Imagine walking through the stands with no lights. Oh my god. Ouch, you stepped on my foot!
Pace car is the only one with lights, and he's heading in, so these guys are blind now. Seth Hatchell is the leader, about to get him going. Hopefully they can see the green flag, and it's out. We know it's out, but
green flag? Is it illuminated? Can't see a thing.
Yeah, so Seth Hatchell with a good restart. Jay Felton not quite able to stay with him there.
And Davidson's going with a great restart now. He's right door to door with Jay.
Yep, those guys almost touching doors. Kurt Davidson, though, going to be able to clear him, and he's all over Seth Hatchell. He's going to look to the inside.
To save that car alive. So Davidson decided, nope, no more saving this time. We're going for the race with 5 laps to go.
Yeah, I think they also know that if they wreck here, I think it's over. So you might as well race as hard as you can, get to the front as soon as you can.
This is like those last lap maniacal races where you push as hard as you can because there's no reason not to.
Yeah,
and we see Davidson in the lead now, and it looks like Felton is not waiting. He's gone for the pass on Hatchell as well. Hatchell has that damage on his cars, which might be losing in pace. And I think Felton's not going for the 1, he's going for the double.
Yeah, he's looking to the inside. Not quite there, though. Seth Hatchell trying to decide which line to take. He's all over Jay Felton.
Tyler Pluff, by the way.
Felton now to the inside, though. Oh, and they make contact. They're spinning. Seth Hatchell's going to get by them. I don't think a caution's going to come out, but Seth Hatchell's to the lead. Tyler Pluff all over his bumper. So unfortunate for Kurt Davidson and Jay Felton, who are in position, but Tyler Pluff now diving inside. Those guys door to door.
And Pluff does have some pace. Looks like the outside line's going to come victorious in the straight. Looks like the backstretch is where that left side line really kills. But on turn 3, 4, going around to turn 1, the inside line does seem to be stronger.
Yeah, and they've got the ability to run the apron and gain some time there. So Pluff dives down there. Seth Hatchell giving him plenty of space to come back up on track.
2 laps to go, and Pluff does have his car ahead. He might be able to clear it entirely. He does clear it, but it looks like Hatchell's getting right to the rear of Pluff.
Hatchell gives him the bumper, able to get back to the inside. Chad Heath is now gaining on these guys, as well as Adam Jones. So those drivers who were at the back half of the top 10 now in the top 5, and right there in contention to win this thing. Tyler Pluff, though, able to scoot away by about a car length over Seth Hatchell.
Yeah, he's managed to break away quite a bit there. Hatchell's going to be pushing as hard as he can. So is Chad Heath, who's still fighting out with Adam Jones. Jones actually pitted there, was at the back of the leading pack, and now here he is in 4th, fighting for 3rd.
So we'll see if they run lap 90 through, or if it's just at the line here.
I believe they'll run lap 90 through, I think, but you never know. They might call it off here. So if they do, that means Pluff will be the winner, and Heath is going to defend 3rd against Adam Jones. We've got 1 more lap to go, perhaps.
Don't know what happens here. Tyler Pluff out front, though, by a car length and a half. Seth Hatchell getting a good run out of turn 4, able to close it a tiny bit. Caution.
No, they're going for 1 more lap.
Not out, so they're still going.
So that means we got Chaddy's going to have to try and defend against Adam Jones. Let's see if Hatchell's got any pace for Pluff.
Hatchell goes as wide as he can.
Yeah, he's pushing. He's got everything he's got left in that car. He's going to try and throw at Tyler Pluff here.
He might be a little bit too far back, about half a car length. Gets a good run, though. Maybe going to look to the inside. It looks like Tyler Pluff is going to beat him there, though. Tyler Pluff is going to be your winner here tonight. So great job by Tyler.
Defended against Adam Jones for 3rd, by the way. It was a fight right to the end.
Yeah, good job by those rookies to fight it out and race clean and make it to the finish with top 5s. Larry Holloway is going to round out the top 5, actually. And
mention, by the way, Chad Heath was the guy, one of the 3 cars who did not take tires.
So the strategy paid off, even though he was caught up in that incident.
Yeah.
And we are looking at Tyler Pluff, our winner here tonight, after the light the lack of light shortened race, and he's doing his burnout right now.
I don't think we're going to be able to see the burn. I mean, to be fair, the burnout probably won't change anything for him because he's not going to see anything anyway.
He's doing it in
as
the
far
grass
as he knows,
too.
the engine's revving.
Yeah, he maybe doesn't even know that he's not on pavement, but doing some donuts. And Tyler Pluff's going to be the winner here for this shortened race. So congrats to Tyler, leading 36 laps. And after starting in third place, he was up front for pretty much the entire time.
How dark that smoke is as well.
Yeah, it's this is definitely a situation that we haven't encountered here before. It's probably very interesting for these drivers. But Tyler Pluff coming out on top. Seth Hatchell is going to be second, and then Kurt Davidson third. So we're going to come back and interview those three guys and hear what they had to say. So we're going to cut.
Unfortunately, we can't see third place.
Oh, Kurt Davidson. We're not going to be able to.
Third was Chad Heath.
Oh, Chad. Oh, that's right. Yes, Chad Heath was third. My scoring's all screwed up because we didn't actually finish the race. But we're going to cut to commercial real quick and grab those guys, and we will be right back. All right, and we are back. We're going to talk with our second place finisher, Seth Hatchell. Seth Hatchell, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
I gotta say, you had one hell of a race here today. It looks like you tried that low line quite a bit. It seemed like the rear end kept trying to let go on you.
Yeah, it was something else all night. I don't know. I thought I was done for after I spun there and got hit. And I came back through the field. I was definitely slower on the first couple laps of a run. But, man, I wheeled it. I got it to the front. And I was really hoping we just called it the stage there. But I don't know. It is what it is.
I gotta say, can you see the microphone at all? Can you see anything? Because, my God, it got dark.
Yeah, I couldn't see a thing, really. Thankfully, I guess, since there was no sunlight, you could just pretty much flat-foot it. You didn't have to worry about braking zones or anything. Yeah, it was pretty crazy out there.
Yeah, as you said, you kind of lost control there on the inside line. Like I said, that's not a pleasant place to be, losing your rear end just a little bit in the front of like a 10-car pack. Oof.
Yeah, I thought I did a pretty good job. I knew there was all those guys behind me, so I didn't try to correct it all. I kind of tried to steer it to the apron, but I don't know if it was hard to see or whatnot, but I haven't even seen the replay, but I guess somebody got into my door there while I was spinning down on the apron.
Yeah, you did your absolute best there, man. You were really trying to save it. It was honestly glorious to watch, man. Well, look, second place isn't bad considering we had a shortened race here, and yeah, I can't see the podium. It's invisible. Good race for you here, so for sure.
Appreciate it. It's definitely a good points night. Just gotta try and go out and win. I think we're off next week or so. But yeah, try and go out and win next time we're out here.
No worries. Well, do you know what the next race is going to be?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I'd have to look at the schedule.
Well, I gotta say, man,
we're gonna be off for the next 2 weeks, and we'll be back at Martinsville.
All right, I can do some damage there.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Damage in Martinsville. Well, I gotta say, Matt, I wish you good luck there. Hope you do well. But before you head out, forget any shout-outs for us?
Yeah, I got to thank you guys for doing a fantastic job with the broadcast. Got to thank the sponsors, especially Capital Auto, for jumping on board. Got to thank all the drivers in this league. Got to thank Paul and all the admins.
Well, no worries, man. Go celebrate. Hopefully you can find your way to the exit and not get lost.
Yes, sir. I'll make sure to find a flashlight.
All right, good run,
that was
Seth.
Seth Schultz, our second place
Appreciate
finish. Seth Schultz, second place.
All right, and we're going to bring up the winner now, Tyler Pluff. Hey,
Can
Tyler,
you find him?
Yep, I found him. It's hard. I couldn't see anything. But Tyler, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, let me get your volume up here a little bit. You're pretty quiet for me. But congrats on the win, man. Just a great run, especially right there at the end. It was really clutch of you to be able to get by Seth Hatchell and hold on for the win. But just give me a rundown of how your race went and how the truck felt.
I'm glad you guys saw the end because I sure didn't. No, it was I really love the track. Always run well here, usually qualify well, and always fast. So it was good to see the front of the pack. Anyways, I thought we might have a chance for a couple cautions, especially the way the truck acted. It seemed like after lap 10, it was just a flip of a switch. He just caught loose off of 2 especially, and we saw a couple accidents happen there. So it's just really just feeling the car. If you feel anything at all, it just being aware of it, and you just had to guard against it, because otherwise, you take yourself out and others. So drove like a dream for 10 laps, and then for about 5 laps it was wrecking loose. And then after that, once I got a little bit of the throttle control under there, it was pretty fun to drive.
Yeah, and you were definitely quick tonight, so you managed to adapt to the changing track conditions and everything. And what was it like going from the practice and qualifying session and then coming into the race session being so much later in the day? Did you notice the changeover in the track?
Well, I will say that wasn't by design, that it was later. Obviously track doesn't support night racing, so but it felt like in practice the same thing happened after about that 10 laps. You could go be pretty much wide open for about 10 laps, and car felt really good. And then between 11-14 it just snapped loose and you were gone. I know several times it took me probably 3-4 runs in practice in order to get past that 14 lap mark. So it was very difficult to get a feel for it. And then the same thing happened in the race. I don't know what the difference in the track temps was from practice to the race. I can assume that the track temp dropped as we went on in the race, but it felt relatively the same to me.
Yeah, I think there was actually almost a 50-degree difference from the qualifying session to the race session. But regardless, yeah, I would expect the truck to feel almost the same, but just more extreme on both ends. And we saw you make some pretty bold moves. We saw you run the high line quite a bit. Was that by design? Were you trying to save tires, or just trying to be smooth and be there in the end?
Definitely. I was trying to save tires. I felt like in that second stage, I kind of got out to a bit of a lead there, running the low line. So I kind of eased off a little bit, especially to try and get back and save a little tires. Maybe have something at the end a little bit for I saw Seth and Jay coming in hard that stage, but basically me running the high line was me guarding against that loose off of 2, that switch loose off of 2 that I couldn't predict. I felt like in practice when I did go to that high line, it really didn't get me loose. The only time that I did get loose was in the race, and that was when the 9-car Jay was inside of me. He had Hatchell behind him, and I got loose off of 2 on the high side, but that was the only time that happened. But I felt like the high side prevailed 90% of the time after about 3-4 laps. So I felt like that was a good place to be. And if someone wanted to go to the inside, be my guest. Just I I can't guarantee that you're going to make it through the corner.
Yeah. Well, congrats again on the win. I believe this is your first win with the league, if I'm correct. Not totally sure, but if it is, congrats on that. It's always awesome to get the first win, and to do it in an interesting race like this. You're gonna look back on it and be like, wow, that was interesting. But yeah, great run tonight. You started third, led 36 laps, and you were up there in contention the entire race. And then definitely put on a show. Anybody you want to thank for this run tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank my teammates running with me, Andrew Melvin, Mike Eames, Braden Johnson, everyone at EMP Racing. I want to thank broadcasters, you and Wingnut, Adam, as our broadcasting for broadcasting for us. I want to thank the title sponsor of the series, Capital Auto Repair and Service, for all they do, allowing us to run these races. Paul and all the admins for keeping everything stand up. Hopefully we can figure out this day-night transition stuff and get some interesting changes from practice to the race, get people on edge a little bit more. But working through kinks, and I think everyone adapted well tonight. So yeah, that's it.
Great, man. Well, we're going to be back in 3 weeks at Martinsville. I forgot to ask you this earlier, but how do you feel about going over there and now that you got a win and you're pretty much locked into the chase?
I'd be lying if I said I felt good. Martinsville is a tough track for me. I feel like there's a lot that can go wrong there really quickly, but usually I'm a top 10 truck, so it feels a lot better being locked into the chase essentially, to the playoffs. So that's good, and I'll enjoy the 2 weeks off here with a little bit more of a smile on my face.
Awesome. Well, congrats again, man. We look forward to catching you in the next one and see you run up front again, and I'm sure you'll be a contender throughout the rest of the year. So go celebrate with your team and friends, and we'll talk to you later.
All right. Thanks, Adam. Thanks, Wingnut. Have a good one.
Have a good one, mate.
All right, so that was our winner, Tyler Pluff, coming home with the victory after the shortened race. Again, was up front pretty much the entire race, either like first or second. I believe he won a stage, or no, he did not win the stage, but he did come in, I think, second or third in both stages. So great run, got a ton of points, and comes home with the win. So we're going to run through the race results. Let's see here. Turn the ticker off.
By the way, I don't have the results, so unfortunately it's going to have to be you.
I'll run through all of them. We got these are actually going to be wrong, so I'm not going to be able to give accurate results. But we do know the top three. So that was Tyler Pluff, and then we had Seth Hatchell come home second, and then Chad Heath third. Let's see here. I'm going to hide these. Yeah, Chad Heath was third. Fourth place. Let's see here. I should have that. He was racing with him. It was one of our rookies, Adam Jones. Came home in fourth place. Fifth place, I believe, was Larry Holloway. So those guys coming home with great finishes. Really good job by all of them. And we had an interesting situation here. But Wingnut, any last thoughts before we get out of here for the night?
Can I see you? I can't see anything. Let me just look around. Yeah, it was a great race. It was definitely short. Like, it got really busy. Like, difference in track temperature and the difference in the track, I think, just made everything we went from a really close race to a really scarily close race. There was a lot of incidents for sure.
Yeah, definitely a competitive night. The trucks were all over the place, and we had some pretty intense action side by side all throughout the race. So another awesome one here in the Capital Auto Service, or Auto Repair and Service Truck Series here at the SOMO Racing League. Again, we want to thank Capital Auto Repair and Service for coming out here and sponsoring the series. And we want to thank the guys at SOMO for letting us put this on, and all the admins, again, for letting us broadcast this. We're going to be back here in 3 weeks at Martinsville Speedway. So should be an interesting race there, a short track. We haven't seen one of those yet this year. But that should be pretty fun, and we're going to enjoy this 2-week break.
Yep.
So it's been a great time here broadcasting tonight. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will catch you in 3 weeks.
Merry Christmas.
And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.